There's a camera right there. See the camera? Wave at the camera. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
All right.
I'm JJ.
You are JJ. Yes. All right, gentlefolk. I just watched the Titans trailer, and have to tell you, I am not impressed. So I wanted to set this up and put it out there, and then give a few comments. Understanding, my first comic book was Superman 296. It was Who Took the Super Out of Superman. It was the second part of I think it's 4 or 5 book run of a storyline where Superman is split into Clark Kent and Superman. And I went back, it was back in the day, I was 74-ish, and I think it was maybe a Woolworths or something, and they had the stand in the middle of the store, the ones that circle around and have comic books on them. They're all ragtag. It was way before comics collecting and stuff like that was a big financial thing, and was able to pick up the previous comic book 295 and start that series, and I've been reading Superman since. So yeah, to preface this, I'm not a fan of Man of Steel. The movie itself was okay, but the depiction of Superman is not my Superman. That's not the Superman I grew up with. I am not a fanboy. I am not a, DC sucks, Marvel rules crap. I read both books, watched all the movies for both sides, and I just don't like the way DC is portraying the characters I grew up with. Granted, I grew up in a different time. I am 2 generations removed, I guess, from the current generation. And I think we were maybe more naive, more hopeful. Christopher Reeves was the Superman. Now, not so much. Now, and Henry Cavill, I'm sure, is a fine actor. I have no problems with Henry Cavill. But the way he was directed to play Superman, to me, was just not Superman. It could have been one of DC's Dark Line. It just wasn't what I grew up with. And let's face it, that's what we're going to watch these movies for. We are going for the nostalgia. We are going to see the superhero that, we've read, or I've read for the past 40 odd years. So that being said, we're going to take a look at this all the way through, and then we'll just kind of pause here and there on a second go around to give my thoughts. So here we go. Who are you?
Everything led me here. To you. You're the boy from the circus.
You got no place to hide. And I'm feeling like a feeling, got a hunger inside. Nowhere to hide from all of this.
Please. Can you help me?
Madness, madness.
Where's Batman? Fuck Batman.
There's something evil inside of me.
You're scared, I get it, but you can control it. You don't know what I've become.
Sometimes, when I feel the darkness, it feels good. My mom says there's no such thing as monsters.
I used to think that. I was wrong.
Madness, madness.
And there you go. Teen Titans at its finest. Where to start? Let's start with Jeff Johns. Mr. Johns stated that he was inspired for this by the Titans created for the new Teen Titans by Marv Wolfman, and George Perez was the artist. I'm not entirely certain which he's referring to. I've read all those comics. I have all those comics. The original Teen was, or included, Wonder Woman, or Wonder Girl, and Cyborg. And I'm guessing they're not allowed to use Cyborg because he's in the main DCEU, or World of DC, or whatever they're calling it now. And Wonder Girl, I don't know, unless they plan on using her in Wonder Woman, maybe, which wouldn't be a bad thing. DC is very much about keeping TV and movies separate, and I don't really get that. The DC TV runs on CW I think are great. Smallville, Flash, Arrow is okay. There are parts of Arrow I like, but in general, not my kind of comic book anyway. Legends of Tomorrow, I mean, these are Supergirl, great shows. They're entertaining. They match the books really well. They take liberties, but in taking liberties, it's still within the scope of the character that we're used to. If Mr. Johns is referring to the storyline, there was never really anything bleak or desolate in Teen Titans. They were teenagers. I think Raven really had the worst of it. She was very dark, very emo, with good reason, not just emotionally a person, but because she had demons in her, literally. And I will preface the rest of this by saying that I really like the horror aspect for Raven. I think that's in keeping with the character. I think it brings out more of what she's going through as the daughter of Trigon. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't match the comics, but it does evoke the feel of the character, which is what they should be shooting for. The rest of this, I think, is kind of a hot mess. Let's just kind of go from the beginning. I know there's a way to start. Let's try that. That one? There we go. I'm not entirely certain that as soon as I saw this TVMA that I wasn't biased right off the bat. I will say I was really hopeful for this. Like I said, I started with Superman, Teen Titans, though I picked up the very first in, what is it, 80? October, here, I'll show you. That book right there. It is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans, Marv Wolfman and George Perez. Love George Perez as an artist. And the storyline was good, obviously. I mean, it became their equivalent of X-Men. And it was never really a mature book. So certainly I'm not sure why they went in this direction. Yeah, I just don't know. But here we go.
Who are you?
Everything led me here. To you. You're the boy from the circus.
You got no place.
I will say, let me back this up just a bit. Yeah. Raven is a lot younger than I kind of envisioned her to be, especially since this is supposed to be later on, as opposed to the teenage versions. In the comics, Raven always struck me as one of the older of the Teen Titans, either because of age or because of her experience or just the way she came across in the books. I always assumed that she was one of the oldest Titans. Here, obviously, they went with a younger version. Again, I'm okay with it. I don't know these actors or actresses literally at all. But if we've learned anything from Ryan Reynolds playing Green Lantern or Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, you know, whether they look like they fit the part or don't look like they fit the part, doesn't always work. Sorry, Mr. Reynolds, but yeah, Green Lantern not so much. And Hugh Jackman, when he was announced at 6 foot some odd inches tall, I was beside myself that Wolverine was going to be huge. But Hugh Jackman played that part perfectly. He played the character, and so the height and the size and the physical aspect really didn't matter. I guess my point being, who cares what they look like so long as they play the part, which I don't think DC really has down yet. But anyway, as we were.
Circus.
You got no place to hide. And I'm feeling like a villain, got a hunger inside.
I'm gonna stop on this real quick. I read some article or something where the guy wasn't complaining about it, but was saying that fanboys are going to complain, Marvel fanboys or whomever, that Robin doesn't throw an R, he throws a batarang. To my response is, who cares? In this particular case, nobody even says that's a batarang. You know, it's the R off of his chest plate, and he threw it into the wall like a ninja star. Good for him. For those of you complaining that it's not a bangarang, get a life. For those who are complaining about the people that are complaining about it, y'all get a life too. Just, if that's what you're picking at, then you need to find another series to look at.
Nowhere to hide from all of this.
Please. Can you help me?
Madness, madness.
Where's Batman? Fuck Batman.
And this is where they lost me. Not with the F Batman. I've said that more than once. When he was carrying a machine gun in Batman vs. Superman, I'm pretty sure I said that a few times. This part right here, where he steps on this guy's neck and you can hear it breaking. Robin may be mad, Robin may be ticked off at Batman or whatever, but you're fundamentally changing the character when he just arbitrarily murders someone. And that's the problem I have. You can't fundamentally change a character and retain that character. What you have now is Vigilante from the comic book, someone who doesn't care about killing because they're considered the bad guy. So kill him. You know, who cares? A superhero has to have values above and beyond the average person. Now, whereas I'm sure the average person would not step on someone's neck to break it, unless that person had done grievous harm against them. But certainly a superhero, I mean, that's a superhero. They are above and beyond morally, physically, whatever we are. They have to hold themselves to a higher standards, or if not, then they're really the villain. And they have fundamentally changed Robin with that one scene to the point where I have absolutely no desire to see any of this. And rant over. Continue.
Fuck Batman.
There's something evil inside of me.
You're scared. I get it. But you can control it.
We're going to go back just a step to, like I said, with Raven. I like the horror aspect that they're presenting in Raven. It's very much indicative of what that character is going through. 100% agreed with the direction. I think it's a little over the top of what the comics have done, but I like it. I think it's very evocative of that character. And again, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the movie version of that character. I did not mean to freeze frame it on Beast Boy there. I'm not. Yeah, Green Twilight. Yeah, I'm sure there's CGI coming, and he's probably supposed to turn into a bird or something at this point, but yeah, not so much. It does make me laugh, though. Let's start with what everybody has been focused on with this young lady playing Starfire. I think it's Anna Diop, or something like that. I don't know. Everybody's been focused on race, and I think that's one. It's stupid, and I think the ones that aren't are. I think you mistake. As a comic book fan, I am looking for an orange woman to play this. Whether the actress is black, white, pink, green, gray, don't care. I expect orange. That's what she is in the comic book. And the costuming here is the problem, not the actress. The CGI, the makeup, whatever, that is the issue I have here. None of these actors, any of them, give you enough from this trailer to determine whether they are good or bad actors, whether they can portray the part. What we have to go on is visual, and visually, this is not Starfire. If you showed me this clip and I knew absolutely nothing about the Titans, and this was just a random picture, I couldn't tell you that was Starfire. The fact that she is using flame or fire-based attack, well, I guess Starfire, but somebody should have read the comic book and realized that it's not actual fire that she's manipulating or projecting or whatever. This is just, I don't know if it's just somebody not doing their homework, or they're trying to make it gritty, or hell if I know. I have no clue. I have seen this actress in something else, and she was good. I liked her. I think she can pull it off. She's got... this is not, Sir Laurence Olivier playing in a movie. This is, entertainment. And so I have no doubt that she can do it. But I want the visuals to be able to look at... I mean, you look at Robin, that's Robin. Even in the end part, when you get to that with Raven, you see her and there's no doubt in your mind that's Raven. Hawk and Dove, you can eyeball them and know. And Starfire is not presented in that same manner, which is, it's a shame. I mean, she's a key to that comic book. She's a key to the Teen Titans team. She's what is really the heart and soul of that team. And it's a shame that visually they can't portray that.
You don't know what I've become.
I paused that a little too early. Okay. Can I get back to that? Nope, too far. I will say that Robin looks really good. The costuming that I've seen thus far looks great. There's Hawk. Hawk looks great. So does Dove, for that matter. Is this? I think this is. Yeah. This is. I have a huge problem with. Hawk and Dove, if you're not familiar, Hawk is militant, aggressive. Dove is, in the comics, a pacifist. And this trailer of standing alone, and I don't know what's going on in the scene, so I can't really go anything above that. But the fact that Dove is coming across as extraordinarily aggressive as well, I have a problem with that. Again, you're getting away from the character, and you're not portraying it on screen as it was in the comic book. You are going whatever your envisioned direction is for that character, and it just doesn't fit. It's not what the fan base is used to.
Sometimes, when I feel the darkness, it feels good. My mom says there's no such thing as monsters.
I used to think that.
Again, you see that, you know that's Raven. Period. At least that costuming they got right. They also must have hired this girl because she can scream her lungs out, as you're about to witness at the end.
What's wrong?
Madness, madness.
And hopefully that's a good take, because I do not want to watch this trailer again. But that's my thought. You know, I'm not entirely certain what DC Universe is doing. They've got the CW programs right. People enjoy them. They've got millions of viewers. And I don't know why they can't follow that formula, especially here. Granted, not in the movies. You know, you keep your movies separate. Who cares? But this is another television show. This is another CW type show. And you're going... I don't know where the hell you're going with it, to be honest. But it falls under the whole, you know, not my Superman. This is not my Titans. This is not the Marv Wolfman, George Perez Titans series. This is a completely different track. And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, then you do it. You pay the bills, you make the decisions. But I'm telling you here and now that me, and there are others like me that have been fans of these comic books for decades, literally, that have absolutely no use for this. I'm sure you're targeting a different age group or something, I don't know. But for those of us who have been around the last 40 plus years, it's disappointing. Hopefully Doom Patrol will be better. I'm not really holding up hope. Aquaman is next on the list. That looks like a fun little movie. I'm really hoping for that. Shazam. I saw the trailer for Shazam. That's one I'm going to watch. I can almost guarantee it. It's funny. It's got the, you know, the Shazam's a bit goofy anyway, hence the name. I mean, that should tell you something. But I'm really looking forward to that one. So, I may run that by just to put it on the channel. But it's a fun movie. If you don't see it here, look it up on YouTube. It's well worth watching. And until next time, y'all take care.